The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter like a venomous insect, its screen lighting up the dim room with an accusatory glow. I froze mid-sip of my lukewarm coffee, the bitter taste turning sour in my mouth as I read her message. "I'll be staying at Jake's tonight. Don't wait up." My heart slammed against my ribs, a sudden, violent thud that echoed in the silence of our empty apartment. Who the hell was Jake? And why did those words feel like a blade twisting slowly into my chest? I set the mug down too hard, the ceramic clinking sharply against the granite, spilling a dark stain that spread like blood. My mind raced, fragments of doubt colliding like shattered glass. Jake. Had she mentioned him before? Maybe that colleague from the marketing firm, the one with the easy laugh she described during one of our hurried dinners last month. "He's just a friend from work," she'd said then, her eyes flicking away too quickly. Or was I imagining that now, retrofitting paranoia onto innocent memories? I typed back without thinking. "Jake who? Everything okay?" But my thumb hovered over send, hesitation gripping me like a cold hand. What if this was nothing? What if I sounded like the jealous husband I swore I'd never become? The apartment felt oppressively still, the hum of the fridge mocking my isolation. We'd been married 5 years, Sarah and I. 5 years of building a life from late-night talks and shared dreams, her hand in mine during walks through the rain-slick streets of our neighborhood. Lately, though, the cracks had shown, her longer hours at the office, the way she'd scroll through her phone during meals, a secretive smile curving her lips. I'd chalked it up to stress, the promotion she was chasing. "It's temporary," she'd assured me last week, her voice soft as she kissed my forehead. But now this text, it gnawed at me, a whisper of betrayal that I couldn't silence. I hit send, the message whooshing into the void. Minutes ticked by, the clock on the wall marking each second with a relentless tick-tock that amplified my growing unease. No reply. I paced the living room, the worn carpet muffling my footsteps, shadows from the street lamp outside dancing on the walls like ghosts. Memories flooded in. Our wedding day, her in that white dress, laughing as rice pelted us. The miscarriage 2 years ago, how we clung to each other through the grief, promising forever. Was that promise fracturing now? Anger bubbled up, hot and unbidden. How dare she drop this bomb and vanish? But beneath it, fear coiled tight, a serpent of doubt. What if I was wrong? Accusing her could shatter us just as surely. Finally, her response lit up the screen. Jake from work. Team-building thing turned into drinks. Crashing on his couch. Too tipsy to drive. Love you. Relief washed over me like a cool wave, but receded quickly, leaving suspicion in its wake. Team-building on a Thursday? And why his place, not a hotel or Uber home? I stared at the words, parsing them for lies. "Okay, be safe," I replied, forcing casualness into the text. But inside, turmoil raged, love warring with resentment, trust fraying at the edges. I couldn't sit still. Grabbing my keys, I headed out into the night, the cool autumn air biting at my skin as I drove aimlessly through the city. Streetlights blurred into streaks, mirroring the haze of my mind. Part of me rationalized. Sarah was ambitious, dedicated. Jake was probably just a harmless flirt, a shoulder during stressful times. But another voice whispered darker truths, her recent glow, the new perfume she started wearing, the way she'd pull away from my touch some nights, claiming exhaustion. Guilt pricked me. Had I been distant too, buried in my own freelance writing gigs, neglecting the spark that once defined us? I pulled over near a park, the engine idling as leaves rustled in the wind. My phone stayed silent, each passing hour a weight pressing down. Denial crept in. Maybe it was innocent, a platonic sleepover. But doubt festered, images invading. Her laughing with him, touches lingering too long. Anger surged again, fists clenching on the wheel. How could she put me through this? Yet, self-reproach followed. Perhaps I had driven her away, with my insecurities and the arguments over trivial things like chores or finances. By midnight, I was back home, the apartment's emptiness amplifying every creak of the floorboards. I poured a whiskey, the amber liquid burning a path down my throat, numbing the edges of my pain. Scrolling through old photos on my phone, I lingered on one from our honeymoon. Her head on my shoulder, eyes full of promise. Tears stung unbidden. Heartbreak wasn't a sudden storm. It was a slow erosion, trust crumbling grain by grain. Sleep evaded me, the bed vast and cold without her. Dreams fragmented into nightmares. Her voice echoing Jake, with intimacy that wasn't mine. Morning light filtered through the blinds, harsh and unforgiving. No text from her. I called, but it went to voicemail, her cheerful greeting twisting the knife deeper. Confusion morphed into resolve. I needed answers. Driving to her office, the traffic a blur of honks and exhaust, my pulse thrummed with anticipation. The building loomed, glass facade reflecting my haggard face. At reception, I asked for her, voice steady despite the tremor inside. "Sarah?" She called in sick today. The receptionist said, sympathy in her eyes that I didn't want. Sick? Or entangled elsewhere? Rage ignited, but I tamped it down, thanking her politely. Jake's address. I'd piece it together from a casual mention months ago, a high-rise downtown. Parking outside, I hesitated, moral conflict tearing at me. Was this stalking? Invasion? But betrayal's sting overrode ethics. The lobby smelled of polished marble and faint cologne. As I slipped in behind a resident, heart pounding. Up the elevator, each floor a step closer to truth. Knocking on his door, the sound echoed hollowly. It cracked open, and there she was, Sarah, hair tousled, wearing yesterday's clothes, eyes widening in shock. "Mark, what are you?" Behind her, Jake emerged shirtless, coffee mug in hand, his expression shifting from surprise to defiance. "Dude, this is what it looks like." But it was. The rumpled couch, the wine glasses on the table, the air thick with unspoken intimacy. It screamed the truth. Heartbreak crashed over me, a tidal wave of anguish. "How long?" I whispered, voice breaking. She stepped forward, tears glistening. "Mark, please. It just happened. Work stress. And you were always so distant." "I didn't mean." Anger exploded. "Distant? I was here, loving you." But even as I shouted, guilt flickered. Had I been enough? Jake muttered apologies, but his eyes held no remorse, only territorial gleam. He pursued her, I realized, exploiting her vulnerabilities. We argued in the hallway, voices raw, secrets spilling, months of flirtations turning physical, her confusion between duty and desire. "I still love you," she sobbed, reaching for me. But trust was shattered, irreparable shards. Driving home alone, the city in different sprawl, a twist hit me. My own secret gnawed. Last year, in a moment of weakness, I'd kissed a colleague at a conference, burying the guilt deep. Hypocrisy burned. Was I any better? The betrayal wasn't just hers. It was ours, a web of moral graves we'd both woven. I texted her, "Come home. We need to talk." But as rain pelted the windshield, I wondered if forgiveness was possible or if this was the end. Two broken souls, forever chained by the shadows we'd ignored. The phone buzzed again, her reply, "On my way." Hope flickered, fragile amid the ruins, leaving me stunned in the storm of what came next.